Hi everybody, my name is Dennis and welcome back to another album review. Today we're reviewing the 5th studio album from Ariana Grande, entitled Thank You Next. Ariana Grande is generally a pop star that I seem to enjoy. I don't love every song she does, but as far as what's big on the radio, there's definitely a lot worse out there, and I usually cite her as one of the few pop artists that I enjoy listening to. So when this album came around, I was a little bit worried because of a couple of the singles off of it, and it ended up being a pretty mediocre project at best. A lot of it gets rid of a lot of the things that made her so fun to listen to originally. She lost her bubbly, lighthearted personality, her fun, pop-centric self that she used to just sound like she was having so much fun with the music she was doing. And I just failed to get that same vibe from this, and it was really disappointing to me. Where it seems like she's trying so hard to get rid of this innocent girl persona that she forgot to focus on making the music as well. I mean, this album has a lot more swearing, it has a lot more sex, it has a lot more just adult nature to it than anything she's done in the past. And even though I get where she's going, and a lot of other female pop stars have done this in the past, and it very rarely ever turns out well initially, and Ariana Grande seems like no exception to this. She comes across as just trying way too hard to push this persona that it's almost a bit overbearing. I mean, granted, this isn't on every single song, but I especially feel this in songs like Seven Rings and Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored, where it's just, I just want her to calm down a little bit. You know, you can bring it back a few notches. There were a few highlights on this album. I especially enjoyed the song Imagine. I thought her vocal performance was easily one of, if not the best on the album on this song. I thought the note she hits just when she sings the word imagine in the chorus is so beautiful. I love hearing just that one word in the song. The way she sings it is so amazing. She is truly a very, very talented vocalist, and she shows it off here. Imagine is a great display of her vocal talents, and I really enjoyed it. And it has a nice, sweet message to it, too. The song Needy, even though it does kind of fit in this trying a bit too hard in the lyrics, I think it has a great sound to it. I really enjoy the production and the flow and all the harmonizing that goes throughout it. And it's just such a fun song to listen to. Its message, even though I don't think is the greatest, is decently written, where it's just talking about her having this complex of being so needy when it comes to relationships, where she's always just demanding so much, and she recognizes that, and she may be trying to fix it, but it doesn't always work. And I think that it's fine. Like, the lyrics aren't the thing that impresses me about Needy. It's just the amazing production, harmonizing, and vocals that go into it. But aside from those songs, there was a lot of mediocre trap beats that I thought were pretty unbearable at best. I mean, take the song Bad Idea or Bloodline or NASA, or even in some of the other cuts on this album are just so weirdly trap heavy, and it doesn't really suit the light, airy vocals that Ariana Grande brings. I don't think they merge very well with her, and I'm always put off when I hear that. Just that whole, like, banging trap beat in the background. There's nothing wrong with trap beats, but it just doesn't suit her vocal range. It doesn't suit the way she sings, and it doesn't suit the music that she's presenting. To me, it clashes too bad with her vocals and the overall sound that it just becomes distracting at best. I did really enjoy the song Ghostin. I thought this one was a very interesting, unique cut on the album. It's definitely the softest song on here, and it has a very mellow, deep vocal performance from her with some really sad but hopeful lyrics that I quite enjoyed. I also really enjoyed the title track, Thank You Next. I thought that the message behind this is a very great one that not a lot of people live out, of saying, this idea of having exes, and instead of looking back on them regretfully, oh man, I just ended up breaking up with them, why did I even bother, you look back on it with this idea of, I learned something from that relationship. So thank you for teaching me either more about relationships in general, more about what I want in a relationship, or just more about myself even. That's the kind of feel I get from this song, and I think that's a really good message to be putting out there, of not hating your exes just because you broke up, but looking at it as a learning experience, something that, if anything, you're thankful for. I think that's a really good, powerful message. And I also really enjoy the tune. I think it has a very nice poppy beat to it in the best ways, and I think she does give a very nice vocal performance here. But her display of her great vocals on songs like this and Imagine just makes something like Fake Smile and Seven Rings that much more disappointing. Because Fake Smile, I think lyrically, is very strong. I think the idea of her saying, I'm not gonna put on this fake persona, which if anything justifies her accepting this new persona she's trying to put on, but I just wish it was done in a much better song, where she's saying, I'm not going to fake like I'm happy, I'm not going to fake another fake smile, I'm not going to pretend like I'm alright. And it's just this idea of we can be open with our emotions, and we don't have to be afraid of the negative emotions. We can present those just as we would our happiness and our joy and our passion. But we see on here that she's okay to get rid of this fake smile, which I think is a very good message. I like the lyrics to it. And even the pre-chorus, I think, has a very nice sound to it. And the chorus isn't bad either. But if I'm being completely honest, the last verse in Fake Smile is so horribly sung. It is so atrocious. I can't stand that part, and I think it honestly ruins the whole song. I think some of the earlier verses were pretty forgettable as well, even though I liked the pre-chorus and the chorus was fine. The very last verse is so bad. And this isn't the only time she gives this kind of vocal performance on the album, and it just sounds like she's trying this really different kind of voice that sounds really awkward like this, and it just doesn't sound good whatsoever. I find it grating on the ears, and I just can't help but turn my nose every time I hear her sing like this, because she is capable of hitting beautiful notes and making amazing harmonies, and it just baffles me how she would settle for some garbage sounds like this. I mean, you can do so much more than that. What are you doing? You can do better than that. And Seven Rings does this same kind of thing to an even worse extent, because at least Fake Smile had some well thought out lyrics. Seven Rings is just all about materialism. And you know what? You can make a fun song about all the things that you get to do when you're rich. There's nothing wrong with that. And there were some funny quips in here. Sorry about that. Were some good quips in here, like, receipts looking like phone numbers kind of thing. But even those lines come few and far between on the song, and overall, it's really just a frustrating listen, because the verse is forgettable at best, the beat is mediocre, and the pre-chorus is so atrocious. The chorus is really bad as well. And I don't know what it is, but there's something about the line, you like my hair, gee thanks, just bought it, in both the words that are being said, the tone at which they're being said, and the horrible way in which they're sung, that line just makes me so angry. It makes my blood boil, and I can't quite place why. I think the line is stupid. I think it's horribly sung. But even then, like, I hear poorly sung stuff and really crappy lyrics before, but I don't quite get this frustrated with it. And I think maybe a lot of it is because I know she can do better. I mean, a lot of her hit songs on the radio are really great pop songs, and I think she fits really well into that niche. So to hear her abandon her strengths to try something new that she doesn't do all that well was really disappointing to me. A lot of mediocre lyricism, a lot of disappointing sounds, and some surprisingly weak vocal performances from someone who has an amazing voice really ruined this album for me. I was pretty disappointed with it, and I hope she can turn things back around and keep making fun pop songs that are just fun to listen to, that sounds like she's enjoying what she's doing, because I don't get that same vibe here. I don't get that same sense of fun energy, and it's honestly just a downer of an album. So that being said, I'm feeling a solid 5 on this. Have you listened to it? What did you think? Be sure to tell me how wrong my opinion is, as always, and I will see you in the next review.